Hey there! Today's story is about a quiet janitor, someone no one noticed, but he left behind something powerful. Let's listen, and along the way, you will pick up some English too. There was a quiet man who worked in a school for more than 3 decades. His name was Joseph, but most students didn't know that. To many of them, he was just the janitor. Some called him the mop guy. Others never even noticed him. He didn't teach classes. He didn't speak much. But he was always there, before the school opened and long after the last bell rang. Every morning, Joseph walked in wearing the same brown coat and carrying his old cleaning bucket. He had a slight limp, but he moved through the halls with ease, like he knew every corner of the building by heart. Joseph had worked in that school for 32 years. He never made noise, never drew attention. But he was always doing something kind, picking up forgotten books, taping together torn class projects, or quietly placing lost items into the school's lost and found box. No one ever saw him do it. It just happened, quietly, every day. He wasn't just cleaning floors. He was taking care of the little things that others left behind. There was something else about Joseph that no one really noticed. Every day during lunch break, he didn't go to the staff room or eat in the janitor's closet. He went to the library. He always sat in the same corner near the window, reading old books, especially stories about children who were lonely or misunderstood. He never checked the books out. He just read silently, then went back to work when lunch was over. It became part of his quiet routine. One winter, a new student named Liam joined the school. He was shy and quiet, and he didn't have any friends. Most of the time, he sat alone. Some students laughed at him. Others just ignored him. But Joseph noticed. One day, during recess, Liam was sitting alone on the stairs, trying to hide the fact that he was wiping away tears. Joseph sat down next to him. He didn't ask questions or offer advice. He simply reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a small paper crane. Then, without saying much, he handed it to Liam. The boy looked at it with confusion. Joseph smiled gently and said, "This helped me once, when I was your age." Liam held the crane carefully and asked, "Why?" Joseph paused, then said softly, "Because someone gave me hope when I needed it. And sometimes, that's all it takes." They didn't talk much after that. Joseph stood up and went back to work, and Liam sat with the paper crane in his hands, quietly thinking. From that day forward, something changed. Every Monday, Liam would find a new paper crane in his desk, always folded with care, always a different color. He never saw who placed them there, but he didn't need to ask. The small paper gifts gave him a sense of comfort, like someone understood how he felt. Slowly, Liam began to open up. He smiled more. He even started talking to a few other students. The paper cranes didn't fix everything, but they helped. Years passed. Students came and went. Joseph remained. He never asked for attention. He never received awards or praise. But when children were upset or scared, they often found themselves near him. He didn't offer big speeches or solutions. He just listened. Sometimes that was all they needed. People began to feel that somehow, Joseph was more than a janitor. He was a quiet presence that made the school feel a little safer, a little softer. Then, one year, the school announced Joseph was retiring. Most people were surprised. They hadn't realized how long he had worked there. A small farewell assembly was planned for him. Joseph didn't expect much. But when he walked into the hall, he saw something he didn't prepare for. The room was full. Teachers, current students, and even former students had come back just to say goodbye. The principal gave a short speech. A few teachers clapped. But then something surprising happened. One by one, former students stood up and began sharing their memories. Some were now doctors, some were parents, others were teachers themselves. One said, "He gave me a sandwich when I forgot my lunch." Another said, "He told me it was okay to cry when I lost my dog." Another added, "He listened when no one else would." Dozens stood, all with small stories that pointed to the same truth. Joseph had quietly touched their lives. Then Liam, now an adult, came forward. He carried a box filled with colorful paper cranes, every one he had saved. He held them up and said, "This man didn't just clean our school. He gave us something we didn't know we needed, someone who truly saw us." The room was silent. Some people were crying. Joseph didn't say much. He simply looked at Liam and smiled, the same kind, soft smile he always had. He nodded once, as if to say, "You're going to be okay." Later that day, Joseph walked out of the school for the last time. The halls felt different. Not empty. Just full of the little things he had left behind. Not trophies or plaques, but memories. Feelings. Moments that mattered only to those who experienced them. A few weeks later, a small wooden shelf was placed near the school library. On it sat Joseph's folded brown coat, his cleaning bucket, and one single paper crane. Above it, a small sign read, "Some heroes never wear capes. Some just carry kindness in their pockets." Thanks for joining me today. Now tell me in the comments, what's one English word or phrase from today's story that stayed with you? And if you'd like more calm, emotional stories to help you improve your English, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.